Hi, I'm Domina Schmiller, 1060 Stevens Road. So good evening, and I'm here tonight on behalf of the Redland Community Library. My history with the library began in 2011 when I was just 17 years old, and over the last 15 years, I've seen the library from every angle as a volunteer, an employee, and a member of the Friends group, and I've seen firsthand how this institution can change lives. The Redland Community Library is far more than a building with books. It's the heartbeat of our community. Continuing funding is not just a line item in the budget, it's the survival for a hub that provides early literacy, setting our children up for success before they even start school, workforce development by providing the technology and public computer access necessary for residents to find and apply for jobs, a true third space, a safe, neutral, and welcoming gathering spot for all neighbors, regardless of age or background. To understand why we need this allocation, you have to look at what we offer daily. We provide high-speed Wi-Fi, public computers, and scanning services that many residents don't have at home. We offer study rooms, STEAM materials for students, and homeschool support and resources. There are a multiple use facility that facilitates everything from quiet study to room rentals and used book sales. The library brings people together in unique ways, and in fact, your own supervisor, Harmon, generously volunteers her time by bringing her dogs to the library so that our local children can practice their reading in a non-judgmental and joyful environment. And these moments of connection that make the Newberry Township a place where people want to live and raise their families. The township's financial support is the foundation upon which all of this sits. To keep our community thriving and to ensure that these resources remain available for the next 17-year-old looking to make a difference, I urge you to maintain and prioritize our funding. So thank you for your time, and you'll notice that I passed out some statistics to you guys. So as other members of the Friends group come up and speak to you tonight, if you can just reference back to those statistics to understand why funding is essential for the library. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'm sorry I missed Matthew.
Good evening, everyone. I hope we can hear me. My name is Megan DeRoche, and I'm the manager of the Redland Community Library. As of 2026, it will be 10 years that I've been with the library. I started volunteering when I was 12, and now I've been the staff for 1 year today. So, in that time, I have seen countless children grow into adults with a lifetime love of learning. Knowledge that comes at no cost to the public, is the backbone of our society. Prior to 2026, Newberry Township has generously allotted $15,000 of funding to the Redland Library. This year, per the budget, that number is now $5,000. The township has decided, with no explanation and no forewarning, that the library deserves a cut of $10,000. The money we receive from the township goes right back to our community, whether it's through purchasing new books, the creation of new programs for all ages, or the daily maintenance that we just need to keep the lights on. What Newberry Township has shown to us is that they do not care about providing these resources to our residents. The library is so much more than just a place with books, and people will say, "Who reads today?" We have some statistics that we gave you that proves that's false, but besides that point, the Redland Library offers free programs on a daily basis to children, teens, adults, and seniors. We offer free public computers, free resources relating to financial help, safety and wellness, early childhood education, retirement services, and more. I have seen all walks of life come through our doors. Single mothers who are searching for friends, students working towards college degrees, seniors feeling isolated within their community, and teenagers coming to escape turbulent situations at home. Through this township's refusal to fund the library, they have demonstrated that they are willing to take from you one of the last free services that this community has to offer. Not one member of this community has reached out to staff regarding this loss of funding. No one is willing to take accountability for their stance that public resources do not matter. I'm here to ask that the township reinstate their funding of $15,000 to the library. Newberry, prove to me that you care about your tax-paying citizens. I will be waiting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan.
Good evening. My name is Maureen. I live at 10 Champions Drive, York Haven.
My comments are also in regards to the library funding. I moved here in 2020, shortly after the peak of the COVID pandemic, when social distancing was still in effect. During that time, I looked forward to visiting the Redland Library. As the board may recall, the library was not open to the public back then. However, they worked hard to allow book pickups in their main entrance. Although it seemed simple, getting out of the house during a time of isolation and diving into a good book brought me comfort. Flash forward 6 years, and I'm known as mama to 2 little boys, ages 4 and 10 months old. While I like living in Newberry Township, I often wish that I had more places for children to learn and play. My husband and I have even considered moving to a nearby city like New Cumberland or Camp Hill because of the lack of family-friendly places here. Ultimately, we believe in Newberry Township's potential and know our children will receive a quality education within the local school district. Redland Library is truly a gem for families like mine in our community. It is the only indoor place within a 10-minute drive that I can take my kids to enjoy a morning or afternoon. It has one of the best toy and educational sections, friendly staff and volunteers who know my children by name, and programming that builds both parents' confidence and children's skills. For example, my 4-year-old participated in their 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten challenge, which helps kids build a daily habit of reading. Research shows that in the first few years of life, a child builds more than 1 million brain connections every second. By reading aloud with your child, they develop vocabulary, become familiar with rich language patterns, and identify reading as an enjoyable activity. Plus, each child gets a pretty cool 1,000 Books certificate when they complete the program. As my son worked to earn his certificate, he attended many toddler story hours led by the beloved Miss Nancy, and we got to spend time with local families in the same season of life. When you're in the throes of parenting little children, it can feel really overwhelming, and knowing that you're not alone makes all the difference. Although my 4-year-old cannot officially submit a public comment, I asked him a few questions. When asked what he likes about the library, he said their toys, books, and lollipops. What about story time? He said how a teacher reads to me. What has been your favorite library program? Reading to the dogs. He said he loved petting them. While Redland Library may be small, its community impact is mighty. I urge the Board of Supervisors to consider its value to all residents, but especially our youngest readers when they determine the funding levels. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It makes an impact.
Thank you for your time. It's actually pronounced Derochet. It is French Canadian for of the rocks.
On the rocks?
I'm going to take a reading class, I think.
There's actually an island off of the Sicilian Islands, Deroshe Island. It's about $1,500 a night.
Nice.
So if you'd like to take your wife or significant other there, be my guest, if you can afford it. I have nothing actually planned per se on paper to tell you about, but I do have 2 true stories that I hope will touch your heart. And as the Lord is my witness, they are true. You think to yourself, well, how do we know this? You'll see in just a moment. 16 years ago, a young girl walked into the Redland Library with her mother. She picked out a book on the jobs in the community. There were all types of jobs in this book listed. The policeman, the EMT, the baker, the bank teller, and the librarian. A couple days later, we returned the book. However, she said to her mother, Mommy, she said, I'm going to be a librarian someday, and I'm going to run this place. 16 years later, that's my daughter, Megan.
Aww.
You see, a seed was planted from that book. The roots of the seed grows deep. And one thing that we don't want to do is that we don't want to cut those roots. Okay, we need to enhance those roots. We're going to go back to 1970. Some of you might have been born, some of you might not have been born. Another true story, as the Lord is my witness. Young girl rode her bike. This time it wasn't to the Redland Library, it was the New Cumberland Library. And she picked out a book, 1950s golden book, called Nancy Nurse.
Wow.
another seed was planted. Now you think to yourself, well, it might have been a coincidence. You know, so my daughter might have been a librarian without that book. Maybe, maybe not. Who's to say? Who's to say it wasn't divine intervention? But I can stand before you today and tell you that that golden book from 1950, 40 years later, I'm still a nurse. Now you take that to heart, please. All right? The funding does not need to be cut for the Redland Library. Because what you're doing is it essentially, you're cutting the roots that supply that growth to that seed. And I wouldn't want to be in your shoes, honestly, to say that you might have stifled the life of a child who might have read a book and thought to themselves, I can be that someday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Doug Ross. I own the property at 1969 York Haven Road in Edders. I've been volunteering at the library for almost 31 years. I started in 1995. I am currently the president of the Friends of the Redland Community Library. And the Friends group is tasked with raising about 20% of our operating budget. That ends up being last year was $53,000. We do that through book sales, bake sales. We get donations from the community. We've had raffles, all kinds of things that we do. But the amount that the townships provide is significantly helps us. It's to raise another 10,000. I mean, I don't even know where we'd begin to come up with some other fundraiser that could raise that amount of money. I thank you for all the past support, and I just ask that you restore what you've given us in the past. Thank you for considering.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Mr. Ross.